When me and my girlfriend went long distance, I used to hate when she'd go out with her friends and get all dressed up. I would get these awful thoughts about other guys walking up to her because she looked so good, and then she'd start talking to them and doing things behind my back. It was like no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop imagining the worst case scenario and letting it take over my mind. But one time when this happened, I was sitting in my room trying not to punch a hole in my wall, and all of a sudden I had this out-of-body experience. It was like I could see myself from above, and what I saw was a guy letting his imagination get the best of him by feeding his fears and holding on to thoughts that weren't even real. I saw a guy that thought he had no control over anything because he was fixating on the things that were out of his control. So in that moment, I gave up. I stopped trying to fight reality, and I came to peace with my thoughts because they were the only thing I had power over. I couldn't stop some guy from talking to my girlfriend. I couldn't stop her from making a bad decision. I could only stop myself from pretending that it was happening. So I did something scary. I forced myself to assume the best. Every time I had a negative thought, I replaced it with a positive one. When I would think she's gonna talk to other guys, I replaced it with I'm enough for her, and I trust the connection that we've built. And every time I did this, those bad thoughts started to lose a little bit of power. I kept believing everything would go right because it wasn't worth my energy or ruining my night to assume that they would go wrong. I realized that I'd be happier if I chose to feed the positive thoughts instead of the negative ones. And I was right, because although I couldn't control the situation, I controlled the story I was telling myself, and that changed everything.